He is a dual winner of the Derby, one in Jamaica, the other in Trinidad and Tobago. In part one of this compelling and absolutely must-watch interview, trainer Adin Williams does not hold back. Williams gives it from the heart. He is forthright, he is dynamic, and he is compelling. This lifetime narrative on Gallop.com and its YouTube channel, The Quick Galloper, is part one of a two-part interview. It is an absolute must-watch, part one of the Adin Williams Lifetime Narrative.
You've been around for a long time as an exceptional groom and as an exceptional trainer. Where is Dreddy from?
Well, Mr. Adin Williams, as Chris Harman put it in the early days, because they didn't want to get the both name mixed with Billy Williams. I am from Frankfield in Clarendon, just a little bit out of Frankfield, a mile out of Frankfield. Yes, Green River Bridge. Okay. And I went to Frankfield Primary School and go along to Frankfield Comprehensive High, but not for long.
Right. How did you get involved in horse racing?
My father took me to racing one day. I guess it was a horse called Rumpeltilliskin win the Derby. It was that day. It was such a long time. I was young.
That's in the 60s.
Back in the 60s. Between 65 or 66, somewhere down there.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it's 66, but
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I used to ride donkeys in the country, and the grandfather did have horses. So, you know, I fell in love with the race horse immediately as I came.
So when you came to see Rumpeltilliskin win that derby, you just fell in love?
I just fell in love with racing. And I would love to be a jockey.
So that was your number one interest first?
Yes, jockey. I came in racing to be a jockey.
Okay. So how did you get down here now to, you know, make that link to try to become a jockey?
One day myself and my father fell out a little bit. And I said, all right, I'm going to racing. I want to be a jockey. And he wanted me to be a mechanic. But then I said, I want to be a jockey. And so I came to Grange Lane, where Owen Silvera was, because I did have a great friend there.
Yeah. So Mr. Silvera was the first person trainer you
Yes,
came with?
Mr. Owen Silvera, a man called the Banker. I came to his stable first.
What year was that, Dreddy?
1966, sometime in November. If I can remember rightly, it was the 28th of November, 1966. And then the following morning, I went to Grass Bush. In those days, you have a lot of cane field, both with Cayman Estate and you have Bernalage Estate. So I went to the Grass Bush to cut grass with the grassman and a donkey cart for about 3 days, but I didn't like it much. So the following days, after the 3 days, I stopped in the stable and hold a horse for a groom to groom a horse called IOU. The groom name was Bob Marshall.
So who mounted you on the first horse in the stable?
My brother. I'm gonna rewind back the talent. I held the horse and hold him for Bob Marshall for about 2-3 days over that week and to the weekend. And the following week now, I believe the Thursday morning, not the Tuesday, the Thursday morning. In those days, horses long walk on a Thursday morning. And he put me to ride a horse called Burnham Bid, and he was sitting on IOU. We're going for a long walk. But I didn't get any saddle to sit in, just the bridle and a blanket. And we started to walk beside each other. And trust me, the first horse I rode galloped away with me. It was in the interval, you know where the cane field is inside the interval. And praise the Lord, when we reached to a gate, the horse could jump over, but the horse just draw up, and I somersault and just have the two reins in my hand said way, just looking right in the nostrils of the horse.
Okay.
In the first experience.
First day.
So how long did that thought last of you trying to become a jockey?
learned to hold horses properly. Then the groom taught me how and showed me how to pick stalls, as we call it muck stalls. In foreign land they say how to muck the stalls, because we don't use rake and things like those, we have to use our hands. And after that I become so skillful. The owner, Mr. Silvera, banker himself now, saw what I was doing, and the place was kind of little mesty-festy with a lot of trees in the yard. So I used the hose, sprinkle down the place, grab the rake and rake up the place and make the place look a little bit better and clean up the gears in the saddle house. And Mr. Silvera said, well, oh yes, he's all right. And from there I move on.
So you are now a groom?
No, I was now a boy in the stable, not a groom yet.
Okay, a boy in the stable.
Yes.
Now trying to become a groom and no longer a jockey?
Yeah, no, trying to become a jockey same way.
Still a jockey?
Yes. Okay. I did want to become a jockey. There was another boy before myself who was a little smaller than I, could ride more than I, and he got through. But when he got through, he messed up his ways. He got licensed like Thursday. And by the Saturday he messed up his ways. And Mr. Silvera's wife told Mr. Silvera, which was banker, said, don't practice anymore, boy. And that's where I got stifled.
Okay.
So I becomes a groom. I started to work harder, and then I work harder and I becomes a groom.
What year was that? At the same stable?
At the same stable, 1968.
68?
Yes. At the Jockey Club.
That's when you got your license?
Yes, at KINGSTON Avenue, before the Racing Commission.
Okay. How long did you work with that trainer?
Oh, I worked with him for a long time until he died. Yes.
And what would have been some of your major successes there?
With him?
With him.
The first horse I got from Mr. Silvera, after he moved the horses them from Passage Fort here to Grange Lane, I did get a little baby horse called Julie Andrews. And I started to work on him, even ride him myself. And right up until him ready to race, 2 weeks before we put up Neville Cousley on him. And that was my first horse. I groomed. And my first winner also paid £27, 4 shillings and 9 pence. I guess it was the 28th of November 1968.
Okay. How many winners did you have with trainer Silvera?
A lot. I can't even remember them now in numbers. Julie Andrews, High Lee, Guinea Chick, Speak Louder, and Burn and Bid. But IOU was the first one with Vassal Najir. Yeah, Vassal Najir win the very first one, but I didn't have any license at that time.
Okay.
But with license, Julie Andrews as an official groom.
Okay.
Yeah, but I win a few races well.
Who else would you have worked with as a groom?
Oh, when Mr. Silvera died in the 70s, the horses went over to Dennis Sasso, and so I worked with Dennis Sasso for a good little while. But then the horses leave and go to Howard Mackenzie, so I went to Howard Mackenzie also, and I win up some nice races with Howard Mackenzie also. So I leave out of Howard Mackenzie's stable and went to foreign in those early days.
Where in foreign did you go?
I went to Canada, then I returned back to the United States, and then I come to Florida, and where I work with Bobby Hales. I made Bobby Hales to make him win his first winner. I also made Michael Lee, which was the jockey.
What was the experience like working at those overseas racetracks?
Oh, it was a great experience, because when I just went there, I thought I was a big groom in Jamaica, because I used to beat up a lot of people in Jamaica here, including Constantine, who was that good champion groom. Then he becomes trainer,
Yeah.
with the same Julie Andrews and Prosperity and all of them horses. But when I go to Florida, there was some girls there that give me some shock. But then I adjust myself to the system, and then I get into it and started to tear them up, and I win my first race for Bobby Hales up there when he got licensed. And move on, winning a whole lot of races for Bobby Hales.
About how many races, if you can just give us an estimate or guesstimate?
I would say more than 30.
For how long were you there?
Wow. Between 78 and 82. Yes.
Okay. And you came back?
Yes, and then I returned back to Jamaica through circumstances and situations.
And you work with whom?
And when I returned, I started to do a little thing for myself. I started to make dukunu. I am the man they call dukunu man. Even that music that they sang off it is
Of you.
if it is off me. And then one morning I was selling oranges. I used to peel orange, like dozens of oranges, without the skin break.
Yeah.
And I would tell people that, oh, the skin doesn't break, you're going to have a good day, and so and so and so. I sell cigarettes, I sell a lot of things, cake, this and that to the grooms and everything. Yeah. And one morning Fiani was passing by and stopped and buy some cigarette and an orange, and I said, Trainer, you doesn't remember me. I know you from you was a little boy, you know, because your father used to have a horse at Owen Silvera. And so, can I get a job? And he said, yes. At the end of the month, come and see me. And so I started to work with Fiani a month after.
And that was 82, at the end of 82?
And that was in 82, not the end of 82, in 82.
In 82. How long did you work with Trainer Fiani?
A couple of years, well, you know, from 82 till 94 when I got trainer license, because getting trainer license in 94.
Who were some of the horses that you looked after in your tenure with trainer Philip Fiani?
Oh well, the first one was Vindicator. No one over 18 grooms, and we couldn't get him on the range. And so they all leave me outside when I went here to Fiani that Friday morning. And when everyone leave me and gone, I stay outside with the horse almost all day, until I pick grass and give him and make one step like Marcus Garvey when going into the stadium in New York. Yeah, what his name is, Batista Spear Garden, speaking to all those men. Yeah. And so the horse follow me and go right inside the stable. And that was the first horse I get, Vindicator. The following week I get a horse called Chime In. And Philip and the groom fall out. And so I get the horse.
Okay.
And then the third week after, I get another horse called Jewel in the Crown. So in 3 weeks I get a 1, 2, 3. After I get the 3 horses, Mark Chin, there was a jockey that I apprenticed him also in Florida in Bobby Hales stable, was there exercising horse for Fiani also. And so Chime In is going to run now for the first time. And Emilio Rodriguez is going to ride him. And Emilio Rodriguez get on him and give him a nice fine ride that day. And my horse win by 17.5 length. And that evening after Chime In win and the horses come home, Fiani called up all the grooms that he has. Each and every one. He have about 20 odd grooms in those days. And said, they used to say I'm a madman. Just why I was speaking good English, just coming down from United States. They say I'm mad. So they tell Fiani, say, Trina, how a madman that? Anyhow, that evening when Fiani come home, he called them and said, which of you ever have a horse win so far? That is the madman. And that was my first win at Fiani, Chime In.
Chime In.
Yes.
How many winners do you think you would have chalked up there under his care?
Oh, it's a whole lot. I didn't count them, you know, but it's a whole lot. Then Prince Concert came in as a baby horse. They call him Fence Cutter from YS Farm. That he have a big cut right across his chest. That wire chop him here. And so It wasn't myself who get him the first time, it was other groom get him, but they couldn't control him because he was a bad colt. So Fiani gave him to me. And when he gave him to I settled him down a bit and back him myself and started to even ride him myself and work him also. And Lobby, Spence, helped me do some nice work with Prince Consort also. And then we bring him along to racing and, well, you know the history after that.
Remind us of some of the things that he did.
Oh my. There was, between Chiming and Prince Consort, in the mornings, I have both of them go to the track and I would have the two of them line up and looking after them, each other, the same, almost the same identical ways. And one, I guess Prince Consort had one, the Dewhurst Stake first, if I can remember. It's such a long time, but you know, things that cannot remove from your brain sometimes. And then I win so much. I even win the Super Stakes, I win the Derby, I win the St. Ledger, I guess. A whole lot of races. I can't even remember some of them right now with Prince Consort and Chiming.
But
Pepsi Mile.
Prince Consort in particular, he won the Derby.
Yes.
With WG.
Yes.
He won the Super Stakes.
The Super Stakes.
Beating Barry Bahin.
Yes, the following year. Not as a 3-year-old,
Right,
but as a 4-year-old.
Yeah.
Because as a 3-year-old, Prince Consort came up with a fracture called earline fracture. So we put him down for a bit and we work on him properly. And the following year, Barry Bahin come out here and beat us all.
Out of sight.
Out of sight. So the following year now, I was furious. And the following year now, I get my colt ready because I did count myself as one of the better groom. I don't say I'm the best, and I still don't say I'm the best, but I am one of the best. And I put him together, and when I meet Barry in that following year now, I really show him who the man is.
Right, right. But he had issues. Tell us some of the serious issues that Prince Consort had, because I don't think we saw the best of him.
No, we didn't see the best of him because him have an earline fracture and him have a little hack problem, not too much. He also have a little hack problem, you know, and so we have to know, well, Philip know how to train him, and I would the man who know how to groom him and to do little this and little that and little of the other to keep him intact.
Who else outside of those two, Chiming and Prince Consort, were some of the other outstanding horses you would have groomed at Philip?
Shaba, Aurangzeb. Shaba was Warrant Express, fine animal, but born the wrong year.
Yes, yes.
Every time him go there, Billy Williams have a horse called Reckless Glen. Always come with that right hand. Yes, and Aurangzeb and a couple more horses, but those were some of the tops. But I was also the legs man. When I say the legs man, I have to look about the legs of some of the top horses of Fiani. Putting on bandages, because it is not everybody in Jamaica know how to bandage a horse. You can bandage a horse and hurt him, and you can bandage a horse and bill him. So a lot of people, some trainers don't even know that. And some groom I was teaching them to, you know. So I would look after horses.
Expertise was needed elsewhere.
Yes.
In the stable.
In the stable. So I expertise like Milligram, Warrant Express, Temperance Oak, Eras, exceptional type. I'm the man who have to put bandage on all those horses. Philip don't, you know. Yes.
So you were more or less his right-hand man.
Yes, I was the right-hand man. And I was also the nutritionist. I was the man who running the feeding program also. Even if I go to, when I was going to assistant and training her, for assistant trainer, and being at the racing commission in Kingston, I have to come home, no matter how late it is, and I'm the man who does all the feeding program. And does the ordering also. When things going down low, I'll tell Philip, said, this needed, him said, Treddy, but I said, are you going to wait until it run out before you order? And he said, yes, Treddy, you know, it's true. So exceptional type went to, you know, at the end of the year in those days, back then in the, would say in the 90s, when it comes to the end of the year, the track closed for about 3 to 5 weeks for them to resurface the track and things like that. So exceptional type went to the ocean and take in water through his rectum or his places like those, and come back in and sick. And 5 veterinarian, 5, that time I didn't become assistant trainer yet, 5 veterinarian couldn't get him back together. Man like Dr. Daglish, Dr. Gray, Dr. But anyhow, 5 of them, they couldn't get him back together. Myself and Dr. Daglish stay outside all night one of the time. All night. And we couldn't get him back together. So this Saturday now, everybody give up and say, he's going to dead. He's going to die. And so Fiani leave me and gone home. The doc them leave me, all the vet them leave me and gone home. Just leave me and the groom and who is at the stable. The horse was laying down on some grass. I took out a small money out of my pocket and tell the groom to go down to Nolan. Nolan used to sell feed in those days, called Glenville. Yeah. I said go and buy 2 bottles of cream soda. And he comes. And when he come back, I put it in one of them big stuff and drench the horse. Because they give up. So this is the last straw. I'm dead, you know. Yeah. They all give him up, say I'm dead. So this is the last straw. And after I drench him now, about 45 minutes after I drench him, it's like him shake up himself and I hear him make a groan. So you can know the pain. Because he had walk a long time and get a whole lot of different medicine. After making that sound, within 20 minutes after that, him shake up himself again and I see him moving 2 front foot. And like him want to try to get up, but him can't because he's weak.
Yeah.
And then we are there with him a little bit. At that time I have a walkie-talkie. Fiani have the receiver and I have the one that you speak to at the stable. Then me say Fiani is in Negril, Ochi, at his home. I can speak to him at any time and he answer me. So about an hour and 15 minutes, they ask, cry up like him, put up the 2 front foot and fight and get up. And when him get up, him just a wobble, just wobbling. And I press this, I press the walkie-talkie and said, trainer. Yes, get up, I'm going to live. And within 17 to 25 minutes time, the stable was full of veterinarian and owners, including Viceroy owner and Richard Lake and all of those people, and a whole lot of people just swarmed the stable and come. And they started to attend around him now, and I didn't really tell them what I does at that time because in myself I said it's not appropriate to really speak of my secret or my sacred. And then same time in that conversation there when the crowd is there, Philip looked at me and said, Jelly, Monday morning go to the racing commission and tell that guy to give you assistant trainer farm. Bring it come, I will fill it up. You is my assistant from Monday morning. Okay. And that's how that assistant trainer begins.
In part 2 of this enthralling interview, trainer Adin Williams goes deep into his time as a trainer. Williams gives an in-depth look into his handling of Mr. Lover, winner of the Derby in Jamaica and in Trinidad and Tobago, and his other classic race winners. Like part 1, part 2 of this compelling interview with Adin Williams cannot be missed.
Thank you for watching another video produced by the team from Gallop.com, YouTube channel, The Quick Galloper. Please stay on the channel for more enlightening videos on those involved in local horse racing. Please like, subscribe, and press the notification bell.